Saludamos ya a la escritora británica Bernardine Evaristo, que se encuentra en España participando en el Festival Internacional de Literatura Capítulo 1. Bernardine, bienvenida. Muchísimas gracias por atendernos.
Oh, it's great to be here.
Tu madre era inglesa, tu padre nigeriano, tú te criaste en un Reino Unido que, digamos, era mucho menos mestizo de lo que es ahora. ¿Cómo te marcaron esas circunstancias? ¿Qué huella te han dejado?
As you say, like my father was Nigerian, my mother was white English, and they got married in the 1950s, and I grew up in a place called Woolwich in southeast London in the 60s and 70s, and that was then historically a very white area, and we were the only black family in the area, and we were attacked, you know, by the racists. And then as this biracial family in this white area, people used to smash our windows in and so on. And I grew up in a society where I was born in that society. It was the only culture I knew, but I wasn't seen as part of that society because of the colour of my skin.
Bernardine, como feminista de pro, ¿cómo llevas esta nueva oleada de conservadurismo y que se esté cuestionando permanentemente esos derechos que las mujeres creíamos que ya habíamos conquistado?
When I was younger, you felt that advancements, progressive advancements that had been made would last forever. It was so shocking, wasn't it, last year when the Roe versus Wade law was reversed in America. It was like 50 years of history was suddenly dissolved. And I think that sent shockwaves around the world. How could this happen? The extremist right-wing politics is starting to not just bubble beneath the surface, but to actually surface. And that was perhaps the most egregious thing. And that you realise that it's very fragile. And that there will always be opposition to the kinds of values that I hold dear, that are, you know, whether it's female empowerment, queer empowerment, you know, racial empowerment and equality, there will always be a counterattack.
El racismo, la inmigración es uno de los temas recurrentes en tus obras. Me gustaría saber cuál es tu opinión respecto a la política migratoria del gobierno británico, que, como sabes, pretende impedir el asilo de esas personas que llegan, de esos migrantes que llegan a través del Canal de la Mancha.
We have a mad woman at the moment, Suella Braverman, who is the Home Secretary. She's a very worrying figure because she is the person who thinks that illegal migrants should be sent off to Rwanda. But it doesn't make sense because Rwanda can only take so many people. And there is something deeply morally offensive about that happening. One of the ways in which they got the Brexit deal through, which I am not a Brexiteer at all, was that immigration was a problem. Immigration is not a problem in Britain. There are many problems, but immigration is not it. So then they stop people being able to apply legally for asylum in Britain. And now we have, 45,000 people coming over in boats. So there are even more immigrants in Britain. It's just ridiculous. You know, whatever kind of policies they come up with, they don't work.
En 2019 te convertiste en la primera mujer negra en grabar ese prestigioso premio Booker con Niña, Mujer, Otras, que supuso para ti esta distinción que de alguna manera te sacaba de los márgenes y te lanzaba en la lista de los éxitos.
It was great. I enjoyed every moment of it. It happened for me when I was at the age of 60, right? And that is an incredible age to suddenly break through onto the main stage. Because I think when these things happen to you when you're younger, sometimes it's very hard to handle it. Where I'm somebody who I'm very sure about who I am. I know who my relationships are. I know about my creativity. I know how I work. I'm able to handle that rapid change in my career from literally one day to the next.
Bueno, y eso a pesar de que algunos medios olvidaron tu nombre.
So shortly after I won the Booker Prize, there was a BBC journalist referring to the Booker Prize. He was referring to it in passing, but he said, yes, it was won by Margaret Atwood and another writer. And the internet blew up. People were so angry on my behalf, and quite rightly so.
Normal.
Yeah, because why should he forget my name? You know, okay, Margaret Atwood was already a legendary figure, but he should have remembered my name. And he said, another writer. And so it was like making an argument about the struggles that you might face as a black woman in this society, that suddenly he had made me invisible. I was just another person. I didn't even have a name. And so it did blow up, and he sent me a personal apology. The BBC apologised, and it died down.
Bernardine, tú has puesto en marcha numerosos proyectos para impulsar la presencia de mujeres negras en el ámbito de la cultura. ¿Cuáles dirías que son los principales obstáculos, hándicaps que tienen que soportar las mujeres negras en Europa a día de hoy?
For some people, for some men, equality feels like discrimination. So when women achieve things, they feel like they are then being marginalized, which is a ridiculous a kind of way of looking at it. And then that is compounded if you are a person of color, because you're also living in a systemically racist society. So if you are women and you're also people of color, you're having to deal with both of those things. But my attitude is always that in spite of that, you need to fight through. And you need to fight the structures and you need to succeed.
Con esto nos quedamos. Bernardine Evaristo, ha sido un auténtico placer charlar contigo. Muchísimas gracias.
Thank you very much. Thank you.